Hi, I'm ReAnn Gonzalez with Edge Home Finance. If you've been sitting on the fence waiting for the market to slow down, I need to talk to you. For a while now, I've been telling buyers and real estate agents that when the market shifted, it was not going to feel slow forever. Buyers were still out there. Many of them were just waiting. They were waiting on rates, waiting on prices, waiting for more inventory, or waiting for the perfect time. But here is the reality. We are starting to see multiple offers again. Not on every property. Let me be clear about that. But clean homes, move-in ready homes, homes in desirable neighborhoods, homes that are priced correctly are getting attention again. Some are receiving multiple offers, and buyers who thought they could wait, negotiate hard, or come in low are finding out very quickly that the market has changed. I recently had a client looking at a property listed at $265,000. My client offered over asking price because there were multiple offers on the property, and this property didn't go under contract for just a little over. It went for $20,000 over list price. That is not theory. That is what is happening in the market right now. So today I want to talk about what is driving the shift, what buyers need to understand, and what agents need to do differently if they want their clients to win. Okay, so now let's get into it. First, what is driving this market change? Inventory is still tight. We do not have enough good homes for the number of buyers who want to buy. Demand did not disappear, it was suppressed. A lot of buyers paused because of interest rates, uncertainty, affordability, or just fear of making the wrong move. Now, many of those buyers are starting to move at the same time. The second thing is rate psychology. Buyers are starting to accept that we are probably not going back to 3% rates anytime soon. I know everyone would love that, but waiting for that number may not be realistic. So instead of sitting on the sidelines forever, buyers are adjusting their expectations and moving forward anyway. The third thing is this. Desirable properties are competitive. That does not mean every listing is hot. It does not mean every seller can overprice their home and expect multiple offers. But if the home is clean, in good condition, in a good location, and priced right, buyers need to understand that they may not be the only one interested. That matters because some buyers still think they can lowball every offer. In this kind of market, that strategy may cost you the house. So let's talk about what buyers need to understand. Number one, get fully pre-approved, not just pre-qualified. In a multiple offer situation, a basic pre-qualification letter is not very strong. Sellers want to know that your credit, income, asset, and loan structure have been reviewed. They want confidence that you can close. When I issue a stronger approval letter, I want the listing agent and seller to know that we have done the work up front. That can make a difference when your offer is being compared to others. Number two, know your ceiling before you fall in love with a house. That is very, very important. Before you walk into the home and start picturing your furniture, your holidays, your family, and your future there, you need to know your numbers. What is your maximum comfortable monthly payment? What is the highest price you are willing to offer? How much cash do you have available for closing? If you do not know your ceiling before you fall in love with a house, one of two things can happen. You may overbid emotionally and regret the payment later, or you may hesitate and lose the house. Neither one is where you want to be. Number 3, understand the seller's motivation. Winning is not always just about the highest price. Sometimes the seller cares about speed. Sometimes they care about certainty. Sometimes they need a lease back. Sometimes they want a clean offer with fewer moving parts. Sometimes they are worried about appraisal, financing, repairs, or timing. A smart offer lines up with what the seller actually wants. That is why your real estate agents need to communicate with the listing agent before submitting the offer. That conversation can give you very important information. Number 4, be ready to move fast. In a slower market, you may have had time to sleep on it. In a multiple offer market, sleeping on it may mean someone else buys it. That does not mean you should be reckless. It means you should be prepared before you start shopping. Now, let's talk about how to write a more competitive offer. Tip number 1, lead with your strongest number. Do not assume you will get a second chance to negotiate. In a multiple offer situation, your first offer may be your only shot. If you really want the home, your offer needs to show that from the beginning. Tip number 2, be prepared to pay your own closing costs. In a more competitive situation, asking the seller to pay your closing costs may weaken your offer. That may include being prepared to pay for items like the title policy, survey, and other buyer's costs, depending on how the contract is structured. Now, every situation is different, and we always need to review the numbers carefully, but buyers need to know this up front. In a competitive market, the more you ask the seller to pay, the less attractive your offer may look. Tip number 3, be careful with contingencies. I am not saying to eliminate important protections. I do not like putting buyers in a bad position, but contingencies can often be structured more strategically. For example, instead of a long inspection period, maybe you offer a shorter option period. Instead of asking for everything to be perfect, you may choose to inspect for information and focus only on major concerns. The goal is not to be careless. The goal is to make the offer cleaner and more appealing while still protecting the buyer. Tip number 4, consider a larger earnest money deposit. A larger earnest money deposit can show the seller that you are serious. It tells the seller you have skin in the game and are not casually walking away. Again, this needs to be discussed with your real estate agent because earnest money can be at risk depending on the contract and timelines. But in the right situation, it can strengthen the offer. Tip number 5, be flexible on the closing date. This is one that buyers sometimes overlook. The highest offer is not always the best offer if the timing does not work for the seller. Have your agent ask the listing agent what closing timeline the seller prefers. If you can match that timeline, your offer may stand out. Tip number 6, keep the offer clean. In a hot market, this is not the time to ask for every appliance, every repair, every credit, and every extra item you can think of. Fewer asks, fewer conditions, less noise. A clean offer gives the seller more confidence. And tip number 7, work with a lender who can help you strategize before the offer is written. This is where the lender and real estate agent need to work together. Before you submit the offer, we should already know the estimated payment, cash to close, loan program, possible appraisal concerns, and whether the offer structure actually works. The last thing you want is to win the offer and then find out the numbers don't work. Now, for my real estate agent partners, this market also requires a different level of preparation. Number 1, call the listing agent before you submit the offer. Build rapport. Ask what matters most to the seller. Confirm the deadline. Ask about preferred closing dates. Ask how offers will be reviewed. This information is gold. Number 2, set expectations with your buyers early. Do not wait until they fall in love with a house to explain multiple offers. Have that conversation before you start showing homes. Buyers need to understand the market they are walking into. Number 3, present the offer yourself when possible. A strong verbal walkthrough can help. Explain why your buyer is solid. Explain that they have been reviewed by the lender. Explain the strength of the financing. Explain why the offer is clean. Sometimes that extra communication helps the listing agent feel more confident about your buyer. Number 4, do not let your buyer lowball a hot property. I know that can be a hard conversation, but it is necessary. If the home is clean, priced right, and already has multiple offers, a low offer may not even get serious consideration. Your job is to be honest with your buyer, even when it's not what they want to hear. That is how you protect them. So, here is the bottom line. The market has shifted. Preparation and strategy win, not just the highest number. Buyers need to be fully approved, know their numbers, move quickly, and write clean offers. Agents need to communicate, set expectations, and guide their clients with honesty. If you are a buyer thinking about purchasing this year, let's get your numbers reviewed before you start shopping. And if you're a real estate agent working with buyers right now, I would love to help you structure strong offers that make sense and give your clients the best chance to win. Are you seeing multiple offers in your area? Drop it in the comments. I would love to know which neighborhoods and price points are heating up. And be sure to subscribe today so you do not miss any future videos about mortgages, real estate, and what is happening in the El Paso and southern New Mexico market. Last week, we talked about why the interest rate you see online may not be the rate you actually get. And coming up, we are going to talk about builder incentives and whether those buy downs are really saving buyers money. I'm ReAnn Gonzalez with Edge Home Finance, and I'm always happy to help you make sense of the numbers before you make your next move.